What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Paranormal Man Saturday Night Scares. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah, yeah. Yeah. You'll have to forgive me if I'm not, jumping around for joy and this and all that. I've been mentally put through the ringer today, and I'm pretty burned out. I'm gonna I will try to respond to comments as they appear, but I'm for the most part I'm just really out of it. So if you leave me a comment, I might not answer to it right away. So I hope you guys can be patient with me about it, because it's been a day for me. It's been a really bad day, and what? Love you. And I just really hope that I can get through this the best way I know how to. So with that, we got 6 videos tonight. Same, usual lineup. 2 chills, 1 from everyone else. And I've been thinking, I think after this week, unless Chills really delivers the goods with both these videos and all that, I might switch to doing 2 from King Frostmare. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, in the meantime, our first video is from Chills. It's top 10 scary videos recommended by 9 out of 10 dentists. And by the way, guys, if you want to check out these videos for yourself, there's a link in the description down below to all these guys' channels. You can go check them out. They got a lot of good videos out. Some better than others, some worse than others, but they put in the effort, and that they deserve the recognition for that much at the very least. All right, so with that in mind, let's go.
One's afraid of the dentist, but I think that 9 out of 10 dentists are afraid of the videos on this list. Number 10, Lake Ness Monster. You've heard of the Loch Ness Monster, but did you know the Great Lakes are also home to an unholy horror? This video, taken in South Haven, Michigan, captures the Lake Ness Monster in all its snaky misery. The serpentine creature can be seen here being propelled off the south pier of Lake Michigan by a powerful gale of 40-mile-per-hour winds in June of 2019. The footage reveals an enormous slithering black object being pulled through the teeth of the south pier. Next to the South Haven Lighthouse, there has long been folklore surrounding monsters in the Great Lakes region, the most famous of which is said to reside in the waters of Lake Erie. While Scotland's infamous legend of Nessie reaches back over 1,000 years, the first sighting of its American sister Bessie is little over 2 centuries old. She was first spotted in 1817, was said to be grayish in color and up to 40 feet long and around a foot in diameter. Could this be her? Did Lake Erie's Bessie migrate over to Lake Michigan? 9 out of 10 dentists might say yes.
Alright. Pretty good start so far. I like it. It's not paranormal, but it's something different, that's for sure.
Number 9, Help Mecker Ghost. Even ghosts are trying to go to college. Published to YouTube by Philip Potgieter in March of 2016, this freaky school video was captured at Helpmaker College in Johannesburg, South Africa. The footage shows a phantom figure gliding down the hallway at around 11 at night. It edges towards a wall and merges into what we can assume is a classroom to the right. The figure disappears without further explanation. Is this ghost just heading to its next night class, or does it need help from Helpmaker to cross into the beyond? Number 8.
Interesting video. Not a whole lot of backstory with it, but I don't know.
Piranha scissors. If you ever find yourself swimming with the fishes, you'd better hope they're not piranhas. The bite force of a black piranha is incredibly powerful. It's 3 times as strong as an American alligator and 30 times stronger than its own weight. Point being, no dentist would want to work on these chompers. This video shows just how effective a piranha bite can be. Published in May of 2011, this bite test was administered in Ecuador. Holding a piranha in one hand and a stick in the other, the man brings the stick near the piranha's mouth and the fish easily and instantly snips like a pair of scissors. There's no question about it. If given a chance, this seemingly innocent fish will take more than a bite out of you. It may take a limb. Number 7.
Piranhas are no joke, man.
The vortex. Want to find out what it's like inside your washing machine? An underwater vortex may just do the trick. Published to YouTube by Michael H. in June of 2013 and shot in May of the same year. This footage demonstrates the chaos of an underwater vortex. Michael explains that while scuba diving in Sirocco, the divers swam straight into the vortex, not realizing what it was. He writes, 3 divers were caught in its current forces, one for several minutes. All made it out and we all learned what a vortex looks like. Let's learn too. The scuba shots underwater.
Reminds me of that guy that we saw a couple weeks back, the one that was playing around in the whirlpool with the horse's mask on him. The one that died. Remember that?
At first looks serene, calm, but soon the divers are spinning. They appear panicked as the water becomes more tumultuous and bubbly. What looks like a tornado underwater takes hold of them, and it will not let go. An underwater vortex is a lasso of bubbles that swirls and spins and can become turbulent depending on the climate and surroundings. Luckily for these divers, this vortex eventually slowed enough so that they could escape. Some pufferfish may not be so lucky. Number 6. Bagged teeth. A bag of teeth discovered in a kitchen cupboard? You don't have to be a dentist for this to be your worst nightmare. Published to YouTube in April of 2020 by I Am Shook. A husband and wife found a baggie of around 20 teeth in a kitchen cupboard at their home in China, which sent them down a nightmare rabbit hole. The wife found them while cleaning and discovered her husband had put them there, assuming they were preservatives. Jumping to the macabre, the woman suggested that someone might have taken them from a lifeless body, but the truth turned out to be a bit less horrifying, even if still entirely creepy. When the mysterious bag was examined by a dentist, he confirmed that they were human teeth, to be more specific baby teeth, all from the same person. Judging by the shape of the pair of molars, he suggested that they were probably corrected to record the child's growth, although that might seem more reassuring. Then the teeth of someone who had passed away. The couple doesn't have children, nor have they had visitors here, so the mystery of where these teeth came from remained. The only theories they could come up with was that the bag of baby teeth somehow had gotten mixed up in a bag of roasted seaweed that the husband had been unpacking and organizing in the cupboard, or that they'd been accidentally taken home during a recent dentist visit. However, the most likely theory was that the baggie of teeth may have been left behind by a previous tenant, and this was in fact exactly what happened. Although the baby teeth mystery may be solved, what remains is still creepy. A baggie full of teeth.
Okay. Let's just say for the moment, that the examination did confirm that they were just baby teeth. And let's just say that they were that they were stored for collection to demonstrate the baby's growth. There are two things that disturb me about that whole situation. The first being the obvious. Why would you keep 20 baby teeth in a little baggie and put it in a cupboard with where you keep your food and or clean dishes? The second thing that disturbs me about that is, did those teeth fall naturally or were they plucked out all at the same time? Because they all, when you see all those teeth stored in the same baggie, and the baggie itself seems to be, kind of undamaged and all that, it stands to reason that all 20 of those teeth were put into that little baggie at the same time. Because if it was one at a time like most teeth are, the bag would show more wear and tear on it. Maybe I might be reading too deeply into it. It could be just that they had a previous bag that underwent wear and tear, and so to make it easier, they just used a different bag. But still, why would you keep those teeth? I mean, for a baby book? I mean, one tooth, yeah, but all of them? Is that really necessary? Ugh. I'm creeped out by that one.
Number 5. Giant Pyrosome. Did you know that man has explored more of Mars and the moon than we've explored the depths of our own oceans? Which leads us to some of the strangest oddities on Earth, including this one, the Giant Pyrosome, looking like a large transparent tube slide. A giant pyrosome is comprised of thousands of identical clones of zooids that form an up to 60-foot hollow cylinder that can be wide enough for a grown man to fit inside. The free-floating tube appears like a ghostly discarded piece of see-through fabric. Known as sea pickles, giant pyrosomes are bioluminescent, which means you can see them glowing blue-green in the sea at night. Published to YouTube by Ross Overstreet in June of 2018, and supplemented by footage from Luis Bringas in December of 2014. This giant pyrosome off the southern coast of San Clemente Island will send you off the deep end. These videos show the creature in action, or rather in action as it floats unobtrusively near the seafloor. What would you do if you crossed paths with this oceanic nightmare? Would you be brave enough to swim through? And more importantly,
God, no!
Would you make it to the other side? Number 4.
I'm claustrophobic enough as it is. Hell no!
Poltergeist lost footage. If you knowingly lived in a haunted house, would you stay? Donnie Drunkard did. Published to YouTube in December of 2020, this paranormal activity will run you out of Donnie Drunkard's home. Donnie writes, after trying to recover footage that I thought was lost, I found these clips from last year documenting the earliest days of paranormal and poltergeist activity manifesting in my haunted house. The footage first shows Donnie playing with his dog Terry, but later that night Donnie notes that the atmosphere changed and that they heard voices and sounds coming from upstairs. Terrifying clinking and clanking bursts through the darkness. Terry is growling as Donnie grabs for his Bible and starts to pray.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
As Terry tries to escape under a table for comfort.
Terry, come here. Terry. Come on, Terry. We gotta go.
Donnie gathers him up to flee this mayhem for a time as they head out for a drive. In the background, an overhead light is swinging back and forth while they are away. A closet door near where the sound originated opens slowly. Nothing exits. YouTuber Brenda Luke writes, that hallway, it's not just darkness, it's advanced darkness. I'd be leaving that haunted house immediately. Number 3, Russian pulled.
You know, we've seen enough of Donnie Drunkard's videos to know, yeah, that shit's real, man.
Poltergeists. A Russian YouTuber plays Russian roulette with poltergeists in this paranormal footage, published to YouTube by Dark Ghost in March of 2021. This poltergeist activity was captured by cameras installed in the haunted home, as well as cameras operated by the ghost hunter who was brave enough to enter. The first instance of paranormal activity comes when a camera that he installed in one room captures a cupboard being moved on its own. It scrapes across the floor and comes to a halt in the middle of the room. And after hearing the noise, the ghost hunter enters to see for himself. The room appears empty, but he soon realizes it's not. An entire wardrobe nearly falls directly on him. There is no space behind the wardrobe for someone to have stood and pushed it over. So what caused this heavy furniture to fall? In a state of shock, having barely escaped with his life, the ghost hunter sets up his spirit box to talk with the spirit. It asks...
Okay, I was thinking that he may have pulled the wardrobe over himself, but he was using one hand on the camera and the other hand to try to keep it from falling on him, so that couldn't have been it.
Him clear as day who he is and why he's here. The spirit tells him that it is dangerous. When he asks what is, she says his occupation. The spirit tells him that the souls of the passed away have heard him. She also notes that they're not all good ones. After a while, she refuses to answer any more questions. When the ghost hunter returns to the room where the cupboard moved and the wardrobe nearly took his life, everything has returned to its place. As he settles in for the night, somehow catching some shut-eye while stretched out on wooden chairs, a spot of light bursts above him, and he springs to his feet.
Whoa, what the heck?
He said that at that point he felt a bitter cold.
Just blew up on him.
You had your life taken and feel the temperature drop. It's probably time to pack it in and call it a night. Number 2,
that was
underwater
creepy.
Steam train wreck. The silence and foggy stillness underwater are spooky enough, but encountering a ghostly wreck 20,000 leagues under the sea will put you in another world. Published to YouTube by Tim Powell in February of 2010, this footage captures the aftermath of the SS Thistlegorm in the Red Sea. The British armed merchant ship was powered by a triple expansion steam engine and built in 1940. A year later, in October of 1941, Germans sunk the SS Thistlegorm. Near Egypt, the ship was headed to Alexandria on its fourth and what would be its final voyage. The ship sailed south around Cape Town, South Africa. Due to the German and Italian occupation of the Mediterranean, an accident in the Suez Canal caused the cargo to be held up and moored at safe anchorage F for about a month, which turned out to be not so safe, since there is where it was sunk. Guided by local fisherman Jacques Cousteau, rediscovered the wreckage years later, recording his findings in his book The Living Sea. Ever since, the shipwreck, which lies about 100 feet below the surface at its deepest, has been a hotspot for recreational divers, mainly due to its treasure trove of cargo. After all, it's a steam train that's been waterlogged for upwards of 80 years. This footage is a window into its underwater world that fish, seaweed, barnacles, and coral reefs have now overtaken. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made a peak, if you're and tap that. Number 1, abandoned barnyard. Alex and his team say at the beginning of their video that this barnyard is abandoned.
That last one was cool. Exploring the sunken ship, that was cool.
Published to YouTube by the Haunted Live Paranormal Investigations in August of 2019, Alex ventures into a barnyard turned restaurant in the middle of nowhere. It's been left like this for over a decade. The paranormal investigators are here to encounter the haunted activity that's said to be present, and they're about to face it head on. In the office, they use the spirit box to see just who they may be dealing with in this haunted place. After not receiving much communication, the ghost hunters take a turn around the building. After a while, the spirits start making some noises, bangs, knocks, but it's at 16 minutes in that the real action occurs. In the background to the right, as Alex continues to try and convince the spirits to communicate with him using electronic devices, a shadow figure crosses into the room beyond. It can be distinctively seen in the archway window moving past. Is this building abandoned or haunted by shadows? If so, to whom do the shadows belong? Yet another video that will have you double checking all locks on doors and windows tonight.
Alright. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Next up we have from King Frostmare. Scariest feels I'll freeze down your apron. Yeah.
Hello guys, tonight we want to take a look at some more mysterious and possible inexplicable recordings again. And now without further ado, let's buckle up and stay frosty. Techie Viga has posted the following. Apparently, there were several weird incidents taking place in their home, and this fact caused them to put an Amazon security system up. One day, it captured the following image. Vega believes it to be the image of a ghost that was just passing by. Could this be so? And before we proceed, I want to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. This episode 2 meters and several EVP sessions. It was at a random point of the night, however, when there were... Now we want to take a look at a pretty creepy recording that was shared by a paranormal team. User Dr. Muerte has posted it in the paranormal section of Reddit and was hoping for some answers. The team was investigating a graveyard in the midst of night, and they did not come across anything unusual in the beginning. They started their night per usual, K2 meters and several EVP sessions. It was at a random point of the night, however, when they were filming towards a crypt on the upper level, and there were many gravestones that were surrounding the team. Once they pan the camera downwards again, something really strange appears.
Ooh, I saw it. Okay, pay attention. Wait. Okay, you can see the mouse. Okay. So pay attention to this area right here when it pans back down. When it pans back down, watch.
Ya te digo. Metemos ahí a Cristi.
Pero bueno, ya ves, mira que no.
Ya te digo.
A small figure is walking by in what appears to be a white dress. Commentators speculate that this might even resemble a wedding dress. The statue of this apparition seems to be really small. And it does look like a female that is walking by here. It's unlikely for it to be a bug or anything. But what other explanation could this sighting have, in your opinion? It's certainly a remarkable recording if it hasn't been tampered with. Maybe it was a spirit wandering around the graveyard in the middle of the night. The next video was forwarded by Mania
That was a good one.
Trent, and it is said that in the following clip,
I can believe that video because I didn't try to put too much attention on it, nor did they react to it. So it's likely that they didn't even know they caught that.
A security camera in the Broadway Palace apartment complex in Los Angeles might have caught an actual ghost. User Pooperness has shared the following video. Apparently the user, who works as a security officer, noticed something really strange on one of the lower security cameras. In his own words, he tries to explain what he saw that night. I recorded this from the CCTV at...
Is she okay? I'm just waiting to see if she comes down. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to talk a little quieter from now on for the rest of the stream.
my job, and they fired me for it. I usually don't believe in ghosts, but this video is creepy. I recorded it around midnight on March 12th.
Seen this one before. He got fired for reporting
It does
this?
look a bit strange, doesn't it? Of course you never know if it wasn't an insect or something, but many people commented on the fact that this ghost boy, or whatever it was, seemed to be walking towards the corner and then just vanished, which is really strange, wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking at a paranormal incident here? Or what was going on that night? The following video was found in the paranormal section of Reddit, and it was apparently captured by two friends who were driving along a country road at night. One of them wanted to show his friend a legit haunted shed. At least that's what the rumors said, as they are driving along the road, and it might have been possible that somebody or something was actually in there. The uploader wrote the following: I have no idea what we have captured here. If it was a squatter, they would cover their eyes when we were shining the light straight in their faces. One day I was in that house and I got halfway down the hallway when something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out. Weird story, right? Once they park next to the house, they are looking at it with their flashlights, and nothing would appear strange at first. However, only moments after moving their light around, there seemed to be something peeking out of the door. Is it the face of a ghost, perhaps? Some people say they think it might be. Or is it just something that was caused by paranoia somehow? Or even a doll's head? A mystery for sure.
I think someone set that up. Not saying that these guys did, but I think someone did. As a means to prank people who go exploring at that area. I'm calling fake on that.
The next two videos we want to check out were two train-related incidents. Alan has sent the following, and it was captured by a train worker who noticed a strange flash of light in the distance. He pulls out his phone and starts recording, and that thing seemed to be coming really close. What is this? Do you have an explanation? Are we looking at CGI here? Or is this one of these natural phenomena, like ball lightning perhaps?
I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. On this one. Actually, now that I look at it closer, I'm gonna have to call this one fake. If you pay close attention, the resolution of the ball is different from the resolution of the rest of the footage.
The next clip was sent by Emmanuel, and he states that it was shared on the profile of Victor Gonzalez. The story behind this clip is that a security guard who was working
Let
the next.
rewind it. Yeah, like look right here. Look at the resolution here. How clear it is compared to the rest of the resolution around it. That's CG.
The next clip was sent by Emmanuel, and he states that it was shared on the profile of Victor Gonzalez. The story behind this clip is that a security guard who was working night shift at the train station heard a child crying. He didn't see anybody at the station though, and when yelling for the kid, he didn't get any kind of response. So he started documenting this weird event. Once he passes by 2 specific train cars, this was captured.
Ooh.
He says that he believes it to be the spirit of a child that, for whatever reason, appeared between the 2 trains that night. Might he be onto something? Was it perhaps somebody pranking him?
I don't know. That was creepy. What? What am I supposed to be looking at here?
Or is this little shadow apparition actually a spirit from another realm?
I still don't know what I was supposed to be looking at that last part.
The following was sent by Franklin, and the story goes that the woman in the picture basically just tried to take a selfie of her for another family member. Her husband was at work at the time this picture was taken. However, somehow something appeared right behind her that freaked her out quite a bit in the end. It looks like a man in a shirt, but the facial features are a bit off. It's not possible for it to be something from the outside either, since this figure seems to be standing right in front of the window. From the inside though, not much is known about the backstory of this house, or if the family had lost somebody recently.
Or it could just be a doll. Like could be a doll on a nightstand. And she just mistook it for someone.
But this image is definitely chilly, no matter what the circumstances were, don't you think?
Kinda looks like a cat.
The next video was found on Tony Ferguson, the Ghost Whisperer, which by many sources is one of the most haunted places in the area. Tony had permission from the owners one afternoon to perform an EVP session all on his own. What made him particularly interested in this was the claims that the spirit of a child could be heard on the upper levels of the museum. After a few minutes, his voice recorder captured the following. Could this be the spirit of the child that some say would be roaming this place? But there's even more. As he decided to take a deeper look into the rooms of this old museum, there seemed to be an anomaly that this time even appeared in front of his camera.
Keep your eye out for the top right hand corner. Can you see the anomaly that shoots past? I'll replay it again.
Really odd. I'm not sure about how credible Tony is in general, but it almost looks like a hand, and maybe some fingers.
So I turn the camera around, and again, the same anomaly appears.
If it was his own hand is unclear, but he pointed it out, so let's just give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Also, I don't know if anyone else noticed, but I saw two figures down this hallway as he was pinning the camera around.
Here in front of his camera.
Here, let me slow down the playback here.
Keep your eye out
Here's the first one. If you pay close attention, you can see it moving.
for the top right hand corner.
And then the next one appears right here, up against this lit wall.
Can you see the anomaly that shoots past? I'll replay it again.
Okay, there's one. And the other one shows up right there.
Really
Right there.
odd. I'm not sure about how credible Tony is in general, but it almost looks like a hand, and maybe some fingers.
So I turn the camera around, and again, the same anomaly.
Can you see something else? The same day, Tony also shared a really curious clip that he caught on a local graveyard that apparently was located in the same area. So it is believed, at least. Tony thinks that he might have caught another figure coming out of the graves. Apparently it was the only interesting capture that night. Is it just an insect? Or are we looking at something more paranormal here?
That ain't no insect. It had to be the biggest insect I've ever seen, that's for sure.
The following was another nightly recording, which was captured by security guards who were
Severance.
surveilling the cameras at the local graveyard. Something really odd appeared on the side of the screen, right in front of a particular set of graves. Rumor has it that it were several ghosts that were appearing in front of their eternal resting place.
Or a bunch of coincidental lens flares.
It's interesting, since these shapes have several sizes. And I personally don't believe that we can explain these sightings by assuming that it was just insects.
I think they're
Your
lens
thoughts?
flares. The way they move is too fluid, like it's intentional. Alright, next up we got top 15 scary videos to watch before your data runs. Oh boy. Here we go.
Number 15. A school bus stops to pick up a student on a quiet morning in Bartow County, Georgia. The driver in front of them waits like they are supposed to, but that doesn't mean the student is necessarily safe. She barely steps into the street when a truck passes from behind at a moderate rate of speed without any regard for traffic
What an
laws.
ass.
The student, who is looking down at her feet, probably would have gotten smashed if not for the quick horn, which makes her look up and take a few steps out of harm's way. The poor student looks absolutely terrified as she gets onto the bus, and the blue truck drives off like nothing happened. The driver was later taken into custody and charged with a wide array of violations.
I'm sure he was.
Which is reassuring, but more than anything, I'm just glad that everyone was alright. Number 14. A YouTuber named Leo Tran is challenged to throw a plastic bottle cap into a trash bag from across the room. At 1 minute into the video, you can see something is out of the ordinary, but at 1 minute and 23 seconds, you can see a small face pop up in the window. The small face stays in the window for approximately 33 seconds and ducks out of the way when Leo goes to collect the trash bag. Does this look real or edited to you? Number 13. Bro.
I'm hit or miss on that one.
Is all a student writes after staying on the bus to capture this paranormal activity. Listen to how hard this window snaps shut and tell me how this is even possible with no one around. Afterwards, he claims to see two faces in the window, something which apparently happens often, and I actually see what he means. These are its eyes, and here its nose. The rest of its face is hidden from view because it's peeking in. Same with the window beside it. Number 12.
Creepy.
The camera pans across a white room filled with antique furniture and creepy collectibles, which is already bad enough, but when it stops at a tall old mirror, they seem surprised to find a childlike silhouette filling out the frame. As they are studying the child in their shaky gaze, a pair of identical orbs float above her head as two pinpoints of light become barely visible, almost like she is turning her head slightly. I guess this shadow child could simply be a large doll. However, even if this was the case, as far as I'm aware, only the eyes of the living can reflect light like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lifeless doll should never have glowing eyes. The person recording sees the eyes and tears up the steps in a hurry. They would later refer to the event only as the girl with sparkling eyes in the dark. Number 11. DJ Ashba has a
That one's really I'm gonna call that one real.
YouTube channel full of videos regarding his music career, but one in particular is way different. This CCTV video captures some unexplainable activity in his private backyard. It all starts when a small white blip appears out of nowhere and flashes all the way across the patio. I want to add that this camera does not skip frames, and that the light actually was moving this way in real time. Approximately 10 seconds later, the door opens completely by itself. The door was not slightly open before, and it looks like a calm day with no wind. Coincidentally, the door that opens is also the same door that the white light appeared in moments prior. DJ Ashba checked the security camera after coming home to see his door open, and this video leaves him with no easy answers. The best explanation I have after reviewing the evidence is that this was in fact paranormal, especially considering his other videos are not like this at all. What do you think? Number 10. A 21-year-old professional pole vaulter
it's
almost
real.
ends his career early after a miscalculation nearly runs him straight through. This video is a good example of how even years of training will never fully prepare you for everything that can happen when the real event comes. He looks down to see the pole has gone through his shorts and shirt without millimeters to spare. Any closer and he would have gotten shredded in front of a stadium of thousands of people, and even more viewers watching at home. Number 9.
That is scary as shit.
A YouTuber named The Great records a paranormal encounter that he has never been able to explain. His son jumps into the water at 8 seconds, and a pair of phantom hands reach up to push him on the side. It's not his dad because, aside from looking like the hands of a child, you can see his father watching in the background. It looks like it has to be another kid, but when his son points the camera at himself to smile, nobody is near. Everyone is on the other side of the pool, and that's where they've been the entire time. Also, consider this. The father would have stopped his son from jumping if there was another kid right in front of them. Both he and his son look as though they have a clear path ahead before taking the plunge. Number 8. A YouTuber named Nightshade stands at the top of...
I got another for that. Because it looks like his son is actually being pushed to the side like that.
The steps. After hearing noises coming from deep within his basement, every time he says something, orbs seem to follow.
Hello?
He tries to keep his calm as he makes a request of the ghost to confirm it's real, and there with him, watches the orbs seem to go up the steps when asked.
If you could come up the stairs for me if you haven't already done so, please do it now. If it was Mr. Grooters, you could go down the stairs, but Mrs. Grooters, you would not go down the stairs.
And when he goes down the steps, one of his dogs seems hesitant to follow. They too seem to notice the abundant number of white circular orbs that now dance all around. Number 7. This ghost video
Paranormal.
from a bus station in Sydney, Australia, has everyone convinced it's real. Even the camera equipment itself. A shadowy mist floats across the upper right monitor, and soon motion tracking equipment puts a bright orange box around it to confirm. It eventually floats off the monitor, at which point it should show up on the other monitor to the left, but nothing appears.
Go on. Look at that.
The motion sensor tries to track it for a bit longer and then gives up. It has simply vanished. Number 6.
A small bug, maybe? That one's easy.
Something strange has been happening in this standalone garage ever since it was converted into a den and game room. Strange orbs hover in midair large enough to set off the motion detector, meaning it can't be dust. Sometimes when they leave, songs will play that could be interpreted as attempts to communicate. Like here, for example, when the ghost supposedly plays a song called Stay. Perhaps strangest of all is the disembodied voice saying the word silence shortly before the motion detector goes off above the door.
I kill you!
I can't tell if this is a paranormal voice or just the security alarm going into silence mode. Number 5. This laboratory is said to be frequented by a spirit who is always near. Here you can see a door pull open.
Now, I'm no expert on, security devices or anything like that, but I would think that they would go less creepy into informing them that they're going into silent mode. They're now entering silent mode. Instead of saying, science!
By itself with no one standing on the other side. Just in case you were thinking someone could have opened it off camera, here's the same event from another angle, this time taken from the other side. No one is nearby, otherwise they would have cast a shadow on the wall, or else be visible in the reflection of the clean lab floor. Unless this door is controlled by a button we can't see, then there should be no way for it to open by itself. So what do you think? Is this real or just a staged video cooked up by...
Honestly, I'm just as 50-50 as Chills
by
is.
a bored scientist at work. Number 4. This employee of a barbecue restaurant is shown on CCTV putting an extremely toxic cleaning chemical called lye into the iced tea meant for customers. According to reports,
This story happened in Utah, where I live. Not like in the same city where I live, but it's the same state that I live. So I know about the story. So thankfully only one person drank the substance and they lived. So, but still, they had a serious lawsuit.
he thought this was sugar because the two look virtually identical. I really doubt he would have done this on purpose, especially knowing his every move was being recorded, but maybe I am being naive in assuming his innocence. Intentional or not, an unsuspecting customer puts the acidic mixture to her lips and doubles over. She is immediately rushed to the hospital where she eventually makes a good recovery and ends up settling out of court with the restaurant chain for a large sum. Still, I can't imagine the sheer terror she must have felt drinking that liquid in full view of everyone nearby.
Now, I won't say which restaurant it was, but it was still a scary thought.
Including her poor children. Number 3, a YouTuber named Texas Savage has traces of paranormal activity left outside her bedroom door, or so she claims. Look at this part and tell me if you can see what she means. And if you can't see it, it's much more apparent in this next video of hers that I'm about to show.
I don't see it.
You can see it a bit better here, as she points out the individual fingers and notices the lack of a
Okay,
thumb.
I see that.
Here's one, and here's one. But there's no thumb.
In this next video taken on a different day, you can get a better look at the handprint and see how long the fingers really were, far too big to be on her own. And since she claims to live alone, it can't be anyone else unless someone has been going into her bedroom without her knowing. On this day, she also finds some fresh scratches not too far from where the handprint is, and while inspecting the rest of her house, she finds 2 new marks at the bottom of her bathroom door that are perfectly aligned, almost like eyes. If you don't think this is real, then what do you think caused this? Just like all of the other markings, she can recall nothing happening in this room to make them appear overnight.
Now, granted, her fingers may not be long enough, but what's to say that she couldn't have just taken, you know, like, let's say this is the door. Let's say that she just couldn't have taken her fingers, go like this, smear them down, and then press her hand up to make the handprint look larger than her hand is.
Number 2, multiple cameras capture a UFO hovering over Jerusalem in 2011. The small moving ball of light glides over the building tops for a while, and then does a dazzling aerial maneuver that no human aircraft could ever possibly replicate. I would think this is CGI, but the same event was reportedly witnessed by numerous people who don't know each other. In this second video, you can see the ball of light is over the same domed building as the before and abruptly flies straight up. I will admit that the UFO in the first video looks a little different than the UFO in the second video, but I think the first video was recorded with a digital camera and the second was recorded with a cell phone from almost a decade ago, so that would explain the visual discrepancies. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, and is chillin' out. Number
Well, since it is Jerusalem, it could be something angelic.
1. This radio DJ is live on air when all of the lights go out. Some of his equipment is still on though, so this is not a normal blackout.
Paranormal spirit's gonna appear right here.
He is all alone and doesn't know what to do, so he calls someone for help, probably a management at home or technical support. That's when a cloaked figure passes by the window and makes him put down the phone. He creeps to the window and looks down the hall. Whoever it was is already gone. The next call he makes, I'm sure, is to the cops. According to him, this radio station has very high-tech security that requires thumbprint authorization to get in. Nobody should have been walking around after hours, especially not somebody dressed in ancient robes with their head down. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new...
Alright, next up we got Sir Spook's 5 scary videos that'll keep you awake all night. Before we watch this... Oh. Yeah, gotta close that out. Alright, before we watch this, I need a bathroom break. Alright, let's do this.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 5 scary videos that will keep you awake all night. So, let's begin. VTech Drew uploaded a video to his channel on July 10th, 2017, with the following description. Me and a group of friends decided to go check out the tale of a haunted ghost on East 8 Mile Road in Linden, California. Listen closely. So, without further delay, let's have a look and a listen. What you just heard was a faint scream.
I vaguely heard it.
Was a faint scream coming from what sounds to be nearby, but this was a sound that the uploader and his friends seemingly didn't notice. But just 30 seconds later, there's another sound that can be heard, and this one they certainly do hear.
You gotta have one. You gotta have right here, Fed. Right here, what? This is where I seen this shit. Go.
Ooh, that one was.
Go. You heard this shit? You gotta have right in here, Fed. Right here, what? This is where I seen this shit. Go. 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 You heard this shit? This is where I seen this shit.
Yeah, that one's definitely a lot easier to hear.
What's also very interesting about that section of the video is that you can hear one of the guys in the car say that this exact area is where he has seen something before. And it's mere seconds after he says this that the weird screaming noise can be heard again. None of this video seems fake to me, and even the uploader has stated in the description that he is quite confused and creeped out by what he heard that night. If this video is authentic, then perhaps if you drive down East 8 Mile Road, you'll want to be careful.
Not a bad start there.
A woman named Helen Brookshaw posted a video to her personal account in December of 2020, which showcases footage from a surveillance camera which is pointed toward a graveyard that is located next door to her. As soon as she clicks play on the footage that was filmed, it is clear right away what she is freaked out by. Take a look at the footage and see for yourself.
Oh yeah. The lens flare footage. I still stand by, that's just a lens flare glitch, because, like I said, the movement is too fluid, too well timed.
This kind of weird movement happens for about a minute, and the strange ghost-like figures never completely disappear from the camera's sight. Unfortunately, this is the only video that Helen has ever posted on her YouTube channel, so there have not been any updates posted anywhere online. What do you guys think was caught by Helen's surveillance camera? Is there a completely mundane explanation to this? Or could this be something paranormal? Ghost or not,
it's not
this is
paranormal.
definitely something you wouldn't want to see after reviewing your security camera footage. On March 16th, 2013, a YouTuber by the name of Yams uploaded a video with a title card that reads, "On March 15th, me and my friend Bryson took this photo on my iPod. As you can see, the photo appears to have captured some sort of a bizarre humanoid creature wandering in the woods."
Looks like a mime.
Yams says that after they took this photo, they split up to see if they can find this creature again. but this time captured on video. They also say that the footage they filmed has not been edited in any way at all. So, let's jump into it.
Alright, so guys, I was recording in the back. I'm recording in the front because we saw a strange thing out the window
I'll be the judge
a
of that.
couple hours ago, and then we tried to find it, but we couldn't. And so we took a break for a couple hours, and now we're starting to see if we can find it. Once time gets to do that. The last time I saw it was over there, so let's go check it out. And what? What was that? Will! Will! Think I got it! Dude, I think I got it! Yeah!
Now, let's just assume for the moment that he's telling the truth and that this video was not, quote, edited. But that doesn't mean that it's still not staged. That could have been a friend of his or a relative of his in a costume to help him make a scary video like that.
Immediately afterward, he starts yelling his friend's name and tells him that he caught something on film, and as soon as he is about to show him, the video ends. Some people in the comments are a bit skeptical, stating that this could have just been somebody in a costume, and some have questioned the convenient timing. But I'm curious, what do you think? Is this a genuine piece of footage capturing a humanoid creature on camera?
It's fake.
Or is this just a fake? Let me know in the comments below. Over on the Ghost subreddit, a Reddit user named LividExcuse1640 shared a video titled Abandoned House I Spotlighted.
Holy. Go.
It's the question.
Yeah.
Who or what comments?
I know I don't usually skip videos like that, but seen it, fake, move on.
The Paranormies are back
I love this channel
at it again in their newest video, and this time they are exploring and
because, you know, from what I remember about the last video that we showed, that it didn't matter if it was real or not. It was a well-made video.
conducting an investigation.
I can't wait for
at
this
the
next
sinister
one.
farm, which is said to be an incredibly creepy and haunted place. When they arrive at the farm, it is already dark and gloomy outside, and they have only flashlights to rely on in order to see things. They begin to look around the outside of the house, but they miss something genuinely terrifying in the top window that appears
I saw that
and
too.
disappears just as quickly. Take a look.
So it's got to be that window.
Maybe that window, barn. Shine the light back here.
Well, that's not what I saw. I saw something different. Again, another well-made video, even if it's faked.
A couple of minutes later, they are inside of the farmhouse now, and are making an attempt to communicate with any potential spirits in the house. One of the men asks the spirit to say the word farm if they are in the room. He hears a voice, and then asks, "Who are you?" The response he gets is utterly chilling.
If that was you, can you say farm?
Who are you?
That's a clear dude.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Towards the end of the video, one of the crew members is in the upstairs area of the farmhouse and is looking around the incredibly quiet and eerie room, when all of a sudden, the room is no longer as silent as a mouse.
Boy. Johnny.
Did you hear that? What was that?
I heard something.
There's this light bulb, dude.
A light bulb.
Look.
That wasn't already there.
No.
The group is just about ready to leave not long after, understandably so.
It just drops.
But before they can, they are given one last scare by the spirits.
It's like whatever was there twisted it off.
And then what's
Table tipping.
Yeah. I want to just show
Is that what it's called?
It's called table tipping, yeah.
It is? Okay. I didn't have like a official name or something.
Okay, yeah, so I kind of want to set up a camera in that corner there, and I want to set up a camera either in this corner or... Stop.
Dude, what was that? Dude, what was that?
What?
The sinister farm is undoubtedly one of the creepiest farms I've seen in a while on the internet. And it's a good thing that the paranormies didn't get harmed or too terribly frightened during this investigation. Let's just hope that if they do come back for another video, they are not
again, real or fake. It was a good video. Good scares.
Going to be harmed by these spirits.
Dude, what was that?
And that was 5 scary videos that...
Alright. Next up is the last one from Chills for this week. 5 scary videos that terrified viewers.
Be careful. These scary videos have left viewers in a state of fear that is not easy to escape. Number 5. On first glance, Corson doesn't appear to be the kind of content we would discuss on this platform. However, he does have a series of videos documenting his experiences with the paranormal in his home. A veteran of the Marine Corps, Corey uploads a variety of content from short skits to game footage to random tomfoolery. On February 18th, 2014, he uploaded something different to his channel. Corey explains he had just hit record on his camera to record the dining room light swinging on its own. The moment he hit record, one of the chairs moved on its own from under the table. The visibly confused Corey moved in to investigate, and after kicking the table away from him, it quickly slides back towards him.
Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm having a bit of a... I need to take one of my pills. Sorry, you guys had to see that.
Until this point, he remained relatively calm and even did not completely freak out. It should be remembered he was in the Marines, and it is possible he was exposed to countless tense situations, so his ability to keep his cool when others would freak out is understandable. The movement of the chair is also erratic, too much so to be moved by strings or something else. While it was plausible when it moved out from the table, it doesn't explain how it moves towards him, and there is no room behind him, and he is clearly not holding anything when it happens. This proved to be only the first instance of several. The next convincing piece happened on May 7th, 2014. Corey explains he had been having issues with a storage drawer in his house constantly opening on its own. He sets his camera down to record while he leaves to go work out. Sure enough, right when you hear him leave, the door opens on its own. Strangely, it appears as if something has pushed it open from the inside, as the doorknob doesn't turn. It also takes some considerable effort to do so, meaning it couldn't just have randomly opened by itself. One would have seen hands on the inside of the door as it opened if it was a prank, even if they were seen for just a second. However, none can be seen and the area is light enough any strings would be visible. Throughout his life, he has lived in haunted homes. This has been known to happen to people, so it is possible Corey holds some sort of connection with the paranormal, and they are attracted to him. In November of the same year, Corey was in the garage replacing the garbage bin when the garage door opened on its own. The stunned Corey is seen on the CCTV looking around, certain someone is there. He explains there are 3 ways to open the garage: pushing the button close to the door as you enter from the house, by putting in a code on a keypad outside, or via the push button in his mom's car. He also explains his mother was out of town at the time, and one can clearly see nobody has pushed the button next to the door. Furthermore, if someone were right outside typing in the key code, we would have seen their shadow creep out from under the door. Nobody is there, and Corey is left perplexed. Since no harm has come to him or his mother, it is unlikely whatever is living with them means any harm, either just a prankster or genuinely confused about what's going on. What do you think? Number 4. Our next entry reunites us with...
It's a creepy one for sure. I remember mentioning, I think that footage was real.
The Dark Ghost, a Russian paranormal investigator who has encountered some truly terrifying entities. However,
okay. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do this anymore tonight. I'm having one serious freak out right now. I will finish this tomorrow. Until then, I leave off this video with a Bible verse. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Thank you. God bless.